Thank you for joining us today with BIPOC Access Podcast. Today we're at the Futurist conference in Toronto at Cabana and Rebel, and we're sitting down with CryptoChicks. CryptoChicks is with us today, and I'd like to welcome and introduce the founders, Elena, Sinelnikova, and Natalia, Ameline.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us.
We're happy that you joined us today, and this is a wonderful event here at the Blockchain Futurist Conference, and we definitely want to dive right into about CryptoChicks and what you're doing, as well as your mission and your vision. So let's start right now. Give us like a bit of an overview of CryptoChicks' mission and why CryptoChicks was started. Who would like to answer?
We can both answer. We'll taxi.
Perfect.
So CryptoChicks started back in 2017. And it started out from the idea of this lady who sits right beside me. We used to go to crypto conferences at the time. And what we noticed is that we would show up and there will be only two of us. So maybe, a couple of more ladies. But in general, it was a room full of guys, which was, a bit intimidating. And we were thinking that, we could do something to change that. So the next chain of events was we were trying to install a crypto wallet.
Okay.
I was trying to install a crypto wallet. It was Ethereum Mist wallet at the time.
Okay.
And I was struggling. I recruited my computer science friends here, even though I'm a computer scientist myself. Between two of us, eventually, a couple of hours straightforward, we figured it out. And that was additional confirmation for us that, if two women, computer scientists with technology background, took so long to make it work, mind you, there were some technical issues, that was preventing us from doing things right. But we thought that, we're not alone out there. And we need to bring the women together and make it a fourth and bring them into the room.
100%.
Yes, I had the same vision. Yes, the whole story is that we started Meetup. But I started Meetup group, and that was my first experience of starting a Meetup group. And the first night, we had 100 sign-ups. As soon as I opened the group, 100 sign-ups, and it get me intimidated a little bit. And I called Natalia and say, "Hey, would you like to do it with me? Because I cannot handle 100 people." And she said, yes. And here we are. 2 years later now, yes, we not only years later, seriously, I don't know. It's been a blast, so, I don't count years. Yes, so we not only have Meetup, of course, we still have, 10 meetups. 10 meetup groups. We also have conferences. We have programs. We have a mind program for education. But Leadership Academy. We have quite sure that is the incubator. We also have a kids program next year, which is we running for since 2022. And we have chapters that are right now developing in the different countries as well. So these countries include, but not limited to, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, Bahamas. So we have chapters in all those countries. And normally with Thailand is coming on board as well. So yes, so we're in 9 countries overall. Yeah, 9 countries, yes. So we're growing. We're happy. It's going well. We're educating women. We're educating kids.
That's amazing. And how are you choosing the countries that you go into right now?
We put a call out for the ambassadors.
Okay.
And whoever sees our pool, so we give an interviews like that.
Yep.
We're saying that on CryptoChicks.ca you can find the form which you can fill in for the ambassadors. And once you fill the form, we will contact you and we will see how we can work together. So basically, our ambassadors is the entrepreneurs that would like to start their own venture. And this venture is, CryptoChicks nonprofit. And we are helping those entrepreneurs along the way. not only with the monetary help, but most of all with the inspirational help. We're sharing our own experience that we had when we developing it, helping develop them events, and just support them.
Yeah, I just want to add to that it's not exactly easy to become our ambassador. We go through strict criteria when we're selecting, and one of the things that we emphasize is the Elena touched on it, is entrepreneurial skills, right?
Sure.
It's what we do expect from our ambassadors is that they are the drivers. We do help with the support of our brand, but it's really up to the people on the ground to build out the followership in that country and lead.
When you came into the industry early, you really didn't see a lot of representation except for the two of you being in those different places. I want you to speak a bit to how important do you think representation is for people coming up and being able to see people in those specific areas to know that they can do it themselves? And also, what drove your entrepreneurial spirit to go from computer science to starting this organization?
I think the whole world is changing. When we're looking around us, what we see is, or I see, is that, if you look at 50 years ago, what we had is the society which was, relying on single income. The women's role were mostly staying at home, looking out after the children, so on and so forth. And fast forward now, you look at how successful women became after entering the workforce. And I think the next stage is my observation is the society is becoming much more entrepreneurial. It's a lot of gig, there's this term gig economy, right? That we talk about.
Yeah.
And I see it all around. There's so much creativity in the young kids. They don't take no for an answer, and they're not afraid to jump in and try things.
Yes.
So we thought that it's a perfect moment for the company like us to enter the scene, because what some of these entrepreneurs are lacking is business skills. You can be great technologist, but you may not have a good understanding of how to take a technical idea and build it out into successful business.
Yes.
So our idea is not just to educate, in blockchain and AI and technology, but also in how to develop this business acumen and business skill set. So that is something that we'll bring to the table, and I think is very timely.
Did you want to add to that as well?
Yes, and you said how important it is to develop the diversity. I have a metaphor. So if, for example, if you would have the rainbow on the sky, that it's only with the color red and blue, or as opposed to you have all the colors. So it's a big difference. So same with our blockchain space. If you come into conference and you just see, guys, and maybe young and white, and that's it. So this is only developing technology that for this part of the society. Right. When you involve all the colors, all the genders, like everybody into it, it is completely, now it becomes for everyone. It's completely decentralized.
And it's not just the diversity of, gender, etc. It's also diversity of skills, right? And that's sort of business. But, if you look at any traditional company that exists out there, it doesn't consist just of the IT support department, right? It has marketers, it has finance people, it has operations people, HR people. So with all society, everybody with different skill set, there's a room for everyone to join. So it's not just for the computer guys who are doing the coding all day long, right? We need everybody to make this space successful.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the spaces that people aren't generally familiar with, but where you don't need the technology and developer background, but you can excel within the Web3 space?
Pretty much what I just named right now. One of the biggest skill that is required when we look at the startups, a lot of startups are looking for investment right now, right? And when they do the fundraise, they come and they do pitches to investors. And the first thing you hear from investors is, so what traction do you have? What's your socials are like? Show me that you are able to acquire users. So all of that is not really crypto jobs, right? making sure that the company has a successful business case, but it's not necessarily a crypto job. Making sure that your team works as one towards a common goal cohesively. It's not a crypto job.
Ooh.
So we need all skills that are there to be successful, not just coding.
Look.
I think we're good.
I appreciate that. And that does really touch on it a lot, because sometimes there's some stereotypes or stigmas around Web3 about kind of it not being connected to the overall business or economic world and how it's structured currently in terms of your marketing, your distribution, intellectual property, content creation. And I liked what you shared there in terms of women getting that representation, but also in terms of the diversity of all colors. What do you think would be what is going to drive more women and more diversity into this industry? Like, how do you think that door needs to be open to allow more access?
So first of all, diversity will drive a diversity. So if we just limit ourselves to one crowd, then it's always a attract one. So yes, more we invite people in, then more people will come. Of course, we cannot drag them in. We cannot expect that we just make them and they will do it. No, of course, but creating this welcoming environment, diverse environment, and that's what we are here for. And look at around right now. So at this conference, if you look at it 6 years ago, there would be no girl, and now there is one just like of developer. There are results.
Thank you for sharing that with us. And I know that you've been around now for many years. I wondered if you could also share with us some of the success stories that have come out of CryptoChicks with some of the
one success that easily comes to mind is a company that actually both Aline and I are working on right now. It's called Nutus.
Okay.
Yes, there you go. It's Nutus started out as a project that grew out of incubator of CryptoChicks.
Okay.
It went through our incubator, and right now it's grown into a tier 1 project, starting out as the solution for scaling of Ethereum, layer 2, but now boasting a robust ecosystem consisting of 5 econodes, and working to create more, incubating more. And that is one of the perfect examples. We have millions of people who our project touch, who participate in our ecosystem. So it has a very broad reach, and we have a plan to extend it even more and really drive the decentralization, which is the big work in this ecosystem. And that's what we're really focusing on.
Yes, and just hearing the story or the Nutus DAO Foundation and 5 econodes that we have. Econode is the business entity or business unit, decentralized autonomous company. And what we do for them in the Nutus DAO Foundation, we build them up. And currently in Nutus DAO Foundation, 4 out of 5 companies has a female founders. So we just launched female founder, CKM female founder, Nudo female founder, and our Sports female founder. Yes. So we are. So all that came from the CryptoChicks incubator is actually awesome company with their good capital, with the team, and with the real business model. So this is our biggest success, but also I would like to, we don't keep track as well, so on that real, many other things that maybe we should have, but just to give an example right now, I was standing at our booth and the girl came to me and saying, Elena, I came to your CryptoChicks Hackathon in 2018 and it changed my whole life because now I'm the owner of my own company. So she's building our platform for women as well, quite successful one too. So we got these stories that like lots and lots and lots of them because we had, just for the first hackathon, we had 170 women who had joined us. So imagine each of them developed their career developed in a different way right after this hackathon. So there is a lot of success that we probably had to keep track of, but we just know it's out there.
Exactly, and we know that it's out there because I will be honest with you, there is no single event that we don't run into somebody who wasn't part of our hackathons. So always somebody we meet and they say, "Oh, you do remember me? I was at your hackathon."
And for some of our listeners who may not be familiar with a hackathon, can you give some information on the hackathon, like what the goal of it is and what people do during the hackathon?
Of course. Hackathon essentially is, in a nutshell, it's a competition of the experts, hence the hackathon. And traditionally, the way it works is a hacker either can select their own idea that they're excited about and build the small prototype project built on it, or they can look at the other companies who participate in or contributors to the hackathon who put out the bounties. So, for example, CryptoChicks put out 2 bounties for the hackathon that's going on now to attract hackers, and in this situation, everybody wins, right? So CryptoChicks get the project, so what we're looking for, and hackers, okay, if you win, you get $1,000 plus some profit sharing options, and you have, more importantly, I think you get excited and you start believing in yourself that, hey, I tried it, I did it, I can do it. I think that's, from that perspective, it's really confidence boosting and very helpful.
Also, as a part of the hackathon, we have the idea competition as well. So sometimes the bounty is just voice your idea, present your idea, and we will help you in the future as well. So we are welcoming the female founders, only female founders, and entrepreneurs that we can help.
Thank you for that. And just because of BIPOC access, we like to destroy stereotypes and stigma. So a lot of people sometimes hear the word hacker and they start to think that it's something negative. Speak a little bit about like black hat versus white hat and what that means.
It's, it's like there are bad guys and good guys, right? So the easiest way to think about it, white hacker is a good guy. The other one is your bad guy. Unfortunately, crypto is the area which is very complicated from the technology perspective and untested. So in order to test something, of course, there are rigorous processes that companies go through to test their product. But as I mentioned, a lot of the ideas are so new, it's very difficult to test and bulletproof everything. And sometimes it just happens that, somebody who outsmarts you, because there is always someone who is smarter, they work persistently and they find the way to exploit your project. Mm-hmm. And you get hacked. And as a result, some people can get hurt. Unfortunately, the crypto space is kind of the good side of the crypto is that it's so experimental and that people are not afraid to try. The best thing is that it also attracts a lot of bad actors because of that. So that's about the bad guys. But the good guys, they're also looking for exploits, but to help to make things better and to make projects stronger. So as a result, the white hackers, very frequently, they get big bounty payouts because they work with the businesses and to point out to them, hey, this is some vulnerabilities, you can fix them. And the project, as a result, becomes better.
Yeah, but the good news is there are way more white hackers than dark hackers in the space, in the blockchain space. Even though it may seem otherwise, because usually when the hacks happen, it is lots of pain and hurdle both for the companies and for people. But definitely, we have lots of hackathons, lots of hackers, and almost all of them are good.
Thank you for sharing that with us and giving us the difference between white hat hackers and black hat hackers. I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about the importance, as we have shown you, the BIPOC Access event that we're doing, and really bringing together young people and teaching them about various things from intellectual property, content creation, marketing, and distribution. And I feel like that resonated with what you were saying in terms of the Web3 space and needing entrepreneurship, business skills, and having an understanding of operations and how to run a business. How important do you believe it is to essentially have those types of collaborations where you have like CryptoChicks and connecting with like BIPOC communities? You had mentioned that you're also working in Nigeria, and that's another one of the places where you were expanding into. How important is that to you, and like what brought that to the forefront of your minds to say we want to target some of these countries and some of these areas which are more BIPOC culture?
Because we target this, these areas, that developing areas, because we see, like, personally, I see the biggest impact that we do there. Because people there, like, we'll work with the Africa a lot, and people there, lots of them are unbanked. So we provided them this opportunity now to have blockchain accounts and to actually be paid for their work. We provided them a lot of employment as well, so employment opportunities. So we have lots of people that work, like, for example, for us, like CryptoChicks, and for Nutus DAO Foundation as well, from Africa. And we also are very much in touch with the community. Like for example, again, our main educational manager at CryptoChicks, she just arrived from Africa to get her story. Just one of the examples, right? So we are living and breathing this goal and idea. What is very important for us as well is to educate people that needed this education the most. So that's why we go into this community, and we'd like to very much get in touch with your events, with your community, your educational events, so we can educate not only women, but we also are focusing on the children and men as well. To provide them opportunity to build their own website, to build their own mobile apps, to create their own digital arts on the blockchain, and just to learn about blockchain space in general. This is an entrepreneurship, so we have a very good course in entrepreneurship. So this is something that we would be very interested in doing.
Thank you. And another question that I had for you as well with what you were speaking there, because it seems very similar, but I know you have also the Next Gen program. And within your Next Gen program, there's a significance there about teaching kids, youth about design, websites. What drove you to create the Next Gen program? And maybe you could also talk to us about some of the challenges that you faced while creating it and how you overcame those challenges.
So the reason why we started working on it, we always had courses, and we're focusing on education for the user, right? Next Gen program was created recently as a result of us working together with the government of Canada on promoting the education for young children in technology and business. So we specifically created the Next Gen program to kind of help market this idea and to expand what we've been offering beyond what we have into a broader kind of horizons, creating more courses and really trying to go out and reach out a wider groups of children. And I think we are doing very well in Canada. And we're actually thinking about expanding these programs to the United States and, of course, to the countries where we are offering, where we have our chapters as well.
Just maybe give a little bit more details of what we're doing for the Next Gen program. Running full courses there. So create your own mobile app, create your own website, NFT on the blockchain, and also we have a design entrepreneurship course. So all the courses are 4 weeks long, and all are targeted for different ages, and from 10 to 18 of the kids.
That was very cool. And where do you find that most of the kids are coming from? Like, how do you find kids for the Next Gen program? And where do you generally, is it at crypto events? Is it more of an online outreach, or is it like a community engagement? Where are you finding people coming in the most for CryptoChicks? Sorry, for the Next Gen program.
All of the above.
Okay.
We are reaching out proactively to schools, the school boards. Of course, we're working with the crypto communities. For example, here tomorrow, we're going to run a stand specifically dedicated for children and children education, so that, moms out here who can bring their kids here and they can get, sign up for the courses. We also advertise on all social media using the digital marketing strategy. And of course, word of mouth. We have opened that from that interview. Potentially, we can get some kids joining our program as well.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And also, if you could speak a bit about ETH Women and the importance of the events like that for CryptoChicks and for Next Gen.
Yeah, so when we started back in 2017, our first hackathon in Toronto here, it was difficult because once we were trying to get these women together. They're trying to reach for the companies and say, hey, bring your women. So we're getting like very skeptical eyes and saying, hey, oh, well, there's not a lot of women that can bounce the hackathon. Though we had 174 women signed up from all over the world. So ETH Women, that's right now. I believe it is way bigger than that now, because there's way more women that are doing blockchain, that are interested in blockchain. So this movement is going up, and I hope and I'm sure it will be growing by the year. It will be bigger and bigger.
And also wanted to ask you, appreciate you taking the time today to meet with us. We know that you're about to go on stage fairly soon to also address the larger audience here. We appreciate you sitting down with us today. But are there any other points that you want to get across to our audience to let them know about CryptoChicks, or anything that we haven't covered so far that you feel is an important piece of the puzzle for people to get a complete picture?
I think we covered a lot of ground. I would say that the best way to contribute is to get engaged. You can reach out to us always at stay in touch at CryptoChicks.ca. This is our email. And whether you're in Canada, whether you are in Latin America, Asia, Europe, wherever, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your story and see how you can lead our next gen in your area, in your country.
You can also visit our website, CryptoChicks.ca. Our courses, CryptoChicksAcademy.com.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for sitting down with us today and connecting with BIPOC Access. That is it for today. We are happy to be here with the founders of CryptoChicks. We're at Futurist Blockchain Conference at Cabana Rebel. It's an amazing day, and we're just getting started. Signing out, BIPOC Access.